develop its own academics. They will have their own endowments for whatever research that has to be done. So I believe that, you know, at this stage in the life of this country, 50 years or over 60 years after the first university was built in Nigeria, I think each university should be able to account for itself and have its own faculty, which should be able to determine how that university should be run.
And ASUU is also asking for better conditions for the students. We understand that internet services up and down. There are no libraries in the universities. And these are things that ASUU is also talking about. I mean, how can a university exist without a library and without internet? So where do the children do their research?
Let's start from even primary education. Primary schools don't have libraries. Secondary schools rarely have libraries. The community doesn't have libraries. The community does not have museums. Even though, of course, we hear that history is been pushed back and forth.
Okay. So you support this demand by ASUU?
I believe that everything that a university should have, they should have.
Okay. Mr. Nkada, we'll take a moment and go on a quick break. When we come back, continue the conversation. Please don't go away. Welcome back. We've been joined by the chairman of ASUU in the University of Lagos, Mr. Adelaja Odukoya. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, there are those who have accused ASUU of truncating disrupting the lives of the young Nigerians who are in school because of your incessant strikes. Is ASUU unreasonable?
That statement was very unfortunate, and that's not what we see, what we hear on the field. First and foremost, let's say members of ASUU are poorly paid. Members of ASUU are not in position where they steal money, where they embezzle government money. So the point I'm stressing therefore is to say we can't afford to even send our children to private university in this country, let alone sending them abroad. By implication, therefore, our own very children too are in this same very university. So whoever is saying that is definitely unreasoning.
But hold on, you said something about ASUU members are not in position, your words, are not in position to steal money.
Yeah.
But some of the people who are in these universities management boards used to be members of ASUU. So they know the things you've been demanding for years. And it's like when they go in there, they forget that they used to be part of your body?
Basically, let's start at the level of the Vice Chancellor, for instance. A Vice Chancellor is a political appointee. So that already removed him from the level of the average lecturer. The highest paid professor in the Nigerian university gets 500,000 naira per month. A Vice Chancellor, apart from the benefit of managing these funds that comes into the university, awarding contracts and other perks, gets 1.8 million per month by virtue of the fact of being a political appointee. So we are not on the same level.
Okay, now you've had talks with the government, and we gather that the minister did say that this strike should be. ASUU should be able to call off the strike in a few days. So, at what point are you right now in your negotiations with government?
Yeah, let me start by saying that the strike in the first instance is forced on us. The last thing we want to do as academics is actually to go on strike. That's why this strike, that's why this agreement has lingered since 2009 to date. So for us, it's an unfortunate situation. And the minister will be right in the sense that it should not last long, because it is within the context and within the purview of the government to do the needful. If the demands are met immediately now, we have no reason to be outside the classes. So we are expecting them to do the needful. But talking about the stage of negotiation, we're not talking about negotiation. We're not negotiating. These are issues that are settled.
They had been agreed. So it's just for them
so it's implementation. So for anybody talking about negotiation, then it shows poor understanding of the issue, even on the part of the government. And that's why it's really very baffling that you could even see a minister of labor that does not even understand what we're saying. For example, he said ASUU was given 30 billion naira for the revitalization of university. The 30 billion naira was actually academic allowances. It's not about revitalizing university. So you begin to wonder if those who are supposed to actually make peace, resolve this conflict, manage labor, manage the universities there, don't even understand the issue at stake. Then we'll weep for this country.
The question that some would ask is, what is most important to ASUU? You have multiple demands, and we're in a situation where the country's economy may not be able to carry all of that. Which one is most important to ASUU? Hold on. Is it your conditions of service, like your emoluments and all of that, or university autonomy, or academic freedom?
The issue of university autonomy, I heard you asking Oga there the other time. Those are issues that all these things are all embracing. Let me take it this way. If you give us good pay and we can't produce quality graduates, our conscience will not forgive us. We don't want to be, like we always say, like the railway workers. When you have problems in the railway system, people are more bothered, give us our pay and things like that. And today you don't have the railway, the workers are not there. But for the Minister of Education in 2013 as a journalist, made it clear that but for ASUU, we won't even have a university system. The little success, the semblance of university that we see up today is because of our struggle. So you can't talk about anything in isolation. The university must be well funded, and we have agreed on that. You remember 2012, we compelled government to set up a committee for the needs assessment of Nigerian university. Government came out to say to revitalize our university, to make it globally competitive. In the minimum, you will require 1.3 trillion. Government released 200 billion then. That was what Nguge could not actually get his hand on. He mistaken it for 30 billion. Now, take this, and you can go and see that little amount, what it has even been able to do within our universities. And that in the subsequent 4 years, and thereabout, 220 billion will be released per annum. As of today, the government is in deficit to the tune of 880 billion on that. That's one. Two, like I said, for me and for our members, we are not ashamed to say we need to be paid for work done. And academic allowances is simply say pay us for money, pay us money for the job we have done. We are not asking for much. We have agreed. We've been doing this job since 2009. We have not been paid, and we are still doing it. What else do you expect? That's that. We currently have the issue of fractional salary. For most people, you will know that since 2015 December, Nigerian universities staff have been getting just percentage, sometimes 50%, sometimes 70% of our salaries. We call it, and nothing's been done. We have spoken about this over and over again. That's that. We currently have the 2014 Pension Amendment Act. What does this speak to? That university professors, when they retire, they should, like the military generals, be able to be paid. They should be getting their salaries forever. As a part of, it's part of. That's why I say these things are not separate. To motivate people to work hard to get to that. Because without professors, you cannot make a university. You cannot produce other professors. You cannot mentor the young ones. So based on this, up to now, that has not been done. And